morning, everyone. We're going to get the opening session started in about 5 minutes, so if you could start taking your seats. There are plenty of seats up here in the north ballroom, so if you could, move forward, fill up the inside here, please. We're going to get started here in about 5 minutes. Thank you. I'm ready. Are you ready? What's that? Good morning, everyone. My name is Jim Seibert, and I will be your MC over the next few days. I am a PhD candidate in the Lyle School of Civil Engineering and Construction Management here at Purdue University. And it is my pleasure to introduce the three co-chairs of this conference, Drs. Mark Hastak, Dr. Z. Torpica, and Dr. Brian Hubbard. Dr. Hastak is the current president of the International Council for Research and Innovation in Building and Construction and co-chair of WBC 2025. He is also professor of civil and construction engineering at Purdue University. Dr. Hastak has served as the associate dean of engineering and Durnland family head of construction engineering and management. He has assisted in the construction industry for the past 38 years through consulting, research, teaching, and service to the community. Dr. Hastak is a recognized scholar in profitability of construction companies, disaster risk reduction, infrastructure management, project control, and risk management. He is a licensed professional engineer, a construction risk insurance specialist, and a certified cost professional. Dr. Hastak is a fellow of ASCE, American Council on Education, and an elected member of the National Academy of Construction. Dr. Torpica is Vice President of Academic Affairs with Capital Technology University. Dr. Torpica brings over 35 years of international experience in academia and industry, having held faculty and leadership positions at several U.S. universities. He served as head of the School of Construction Management Technology at Purdue University, Dean of the Leonard C. Nelson College of Engineering and Sciences at West Virginia University Institute, and Director of Construction Management Program at Drexel University. In addition to his academic roles, Dr. Torpica has extensive experience as a practitioner, consultant, and business executive in engineering, construction, and real estate development. Dr. Brian Hubbard is a professor at Purdue University where he teaches courses in estimating, design, construction integration, and industrial construction in the School of Construction Management Technology. Dr. Hubbard has been at Purdue for the last 20 years, focusing his time and efforts to recruit and develop young adults for careers in all areas of the construction industry. He has held multiple leadership positions at Purdue, including head of the School of Construction Management Technology. Dr. Hubbard received his PhD in civil engineering from Texas A&M University and his master's and bachelor's degrees from Purdue. Brian is currently a Fulbright Scholar at the University of Malaga in Spain. Please join me in welcoming our three co-chairs to the stage.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning, everybody. It's such a great pleasure to see all of you here. And with all the things going on with travel and other things, we are absolutely delighted to have you all here for the World Building Congress 2025. I hope you had safe journey coming here. We have an excellent program put together for the next 6 days. And we have about 500 plus papers that would get presented. We have over 580 participants that are going to join in this Congress. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be packed. It's going to be fun next 6 days. So with that, if we can go to the next slide, please. Or I can control, yeah. They have made it very easy for me. There's a big green button here. So indeed, conferences such as this, where we are expecting over 600 people, the preparation has been going on for the last 3 years, and that's why it's even it makes us even more happier to see all of you here, because now it has come to that point where we can welcome you to Purdue University. A big team has participated in making this happen. I cannot thank enough our scientific committee, or almost close to 100 individuals from all around the world that have participated. We have an excellent local organizing committee. I'm sure you have all been bombarded with emails from our team. And I don't want to go through the names, but you know who they are. Please thank them as you get a chance. We are very grateful to Moss and National Academy of Construction for sponsoring, being the key sponsors for this conference. Of course, there are multiple exhibitors and other sponsors that I also need to thank. And you can see a list of them: Gaylor Electric, Rochester Institute of Technology, Tsinghua University. We have Emerald Publishing, MDPI, and so on. So thank you all very much for supporting our efforts in organizing this conference. And of course, there are many more thanks to offer. And of course, our College of Engineering, College of Technology, a Polytechnic Institute. We have all our reviewers, by the way. There were multitude of reviewers that we would not even know who reviewed the papers. But from the bottom of our heart, thank you very much. You have heard that the theme for this conference is, what would be the role of the built environment in influencing the UN SDGs? And you will hear that theme throughout this week. And these are the 17 SDGs. And you will see how they influence our industry and how our industry can influence the outcomes of these 17 SDGs. So I also want to thank, this is a special thing, 13 special issues have been committed for this conference. 13 special issues. It has never happened in a conference, and we are very grateful for these publishers and also the editors who have taken on the role to lead these 13 special issues. So please look forward to contacting these editors, and we will have some more information on the website for you to follow. With that said, let me hand it over to Z.
So good morning. My task is to very briefly provide a summary of some logistics, let's say, issues. So I need to be really brief, but before I talk about that, I want to use this opportunity to express it's a truly fascinating to see all of you here after 3 years of planning. Seeing this conference finally coming to life is both humbling and deeply fulfilling and just a great feeling. So, getting food. Let's start with food. So this place is the place where we will have breakfast every morning, 7:30 a.m. We will also use this place for the lunch on Thursday. Otherwise, lunches will be downstairs. For you who attended last night's event, it's in that area. You can get to that place different ways, so without going into that maze of ways, but when you get downstairs, you'll see where is the crowd. That's the place where the buffet will be served, and that will be today and tomorrow, as I said, and Wednesday. On Thursday, it will be in this place. Refreshments will be in the next door building, where all presentations, workshops, seminars, all the activities will be taking place in that building. It will be on the 3rd floor. You will see a lot of activities is on the, and refreshments, throughout this room, yes, I'm sorry. So you will also see, as you can see, refreshment is during these plenary sessions. Presentations will be on the 2nd floor, a lot of meetings, business meetings, seminars, workshops. 3rd floor, same. There will be a separate room on the 3rd floor for the refreshments, so please don't forget to get hydrated, and yes, coffee counts. Dinners, that's probably something in your name, whatever case. You will see 3 coupons. 2 coupons are for the dining facility, which is about 15 minutes, 1-5, walk from here. But that's a good opportunity to see the beautiful campus of Purdue University. There are some maps on the application, so you will get the idea how to get there. If not, we will help. Somebody will help you. So tonight and tomorrow, you will go there, On Wednesday, we have gala dinner, which is also one of the coupons in your package. So that's about food, about not getting lost. You will see this building, as I said, is for the breakfast, for the keynote speeches, for the award ceremony on the Wednesday, for the lunch on Thursday. So there will be a lot of activities in this room, but otherwise, most of the things will be across the next door building. To get in this building, we were told there will be some construction going on, so there's many ways to get in, but they said the south entrance, which I know doesn't mean anything to you now, southwest. It is in this direction. So that will be the way to get in, and the same is with the Stewart Hall building. Again, we will have to use the south entrances. And the last thing is about the time management. I want to remind everybody, and we shared that with our moderators. Each presentation will be 15 minutes. 15 minutes meaning up to 10 minutes for the presentation, not 11, not 12, and then 3 minutes Q&A, and then 2 minutes for the transition. Because we need to stick with these 15 minutes blocks, because there will be a lot of situations where you will be attending first presentation in room 7, and then you want to go to room 9, and then attend the second one, so we want to keep that order. 9 rooms where we will have parallel presentations, so a lot of competing events. Don't be disappointed if in your session there is not 100 people, because if you do math, you will see there's so many places, and the number of people divided. So I guess that's, am I missing anything, Brian and Mark, about the logistics?
I just wanted to add one more thing quickly, that you must have noticed that we have also arranged for a number of construction sites around this campus just for your benefits.
Now, Brian will give you some updates about more fun parts, which is the nice events that we have organized.
All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Purdue University. Oops.
Is it? Oops.
There we go. Is that working now? All right. Welcome to Purdue University. My name's Brian Hubbard. We're glad to see everybody here. One thing I'll note when you're heading out to dinner tonight, a kind of a fun thing, you might want to walk by Neil Armstrong's statue and walk in the steps that he first did when he went to the moon. There's kind of a little tribute to him there. So it's kind of a fun thing. And then dinner's right across the catty corner of the street from that. So something to look for. We've got a lot of things planned for you this week. Starting tonight, the Vicky Mars Band will be playing out on the terrace. The terrace is right out this direction, okay? For those of you at the reception, it is in the same place the reception was. There'll be beverages for purchase there at walk-ons. So great opportunity to see a local band and share some time with all your friends here. On Tuesday, for those of you that have guests, and they need something to do while you're in all these sessions, there is going to be a tour of Mackey Arena. Here in Indiana, we take our basketball very seriously, and Mackey Arena is one of the legendary arenas in the nation. They'll do a tour of Mackey Arena where you get to see the players play, the locker rooms, all of that. So great opportunity to see some of our sports facilities for those guests that are here, okay? Wednesday night, of course, is the gala, which is going to be in here. As Professor Torbica mentioned, you've got a ticket in the back. If you do have a guest here with you, we would ask that you purchase a ticket, and you can do that at the registration desk for your guest, okay? Finally, it is a month of May in Indiana, and it means it is the Indianapolis 500. They have been practicing, going through qualifications for the race all month long. The race is this Sunday, but for if you're local here, you know some of the best action to see and get up close to the cars and all of that is actually during the practice sessions. On Friday is Carb Day or Carburetor Day. That's an old saying for when they did their final practice to tune up their cars. And so we are going to have a bus go out here at 8:30 a.m. on Friday morning. We'll be at the track by 11 when the cars get going. And Gaylor Electric has graciously agreed to provide all the food and beverage for the day at their big tent. You'll also get a chance to meet a bunch of contractors there as well. So it's a big event here in Indiana. We'll plan to leave there around 2:30 or 2 or 2:30, so we'll be back here about 3:30 in the afternoon. There are still a few slots left of that. If you're interested, you can sign up at the registration desk. All right. With that, I will turn it back over to Jim.
Thank you, gentlemen, for those welcoming comments. I would now like to ask Dr. Hubbard to welcome our first speaker, Don Ward, to the stage. Don Ward took up the role of Chief Executive of CIB in March of 2020. Don is a highly experienced and globally recognized CEO of not-for-profit organizations in the construction and built environment sector. He is an international expert in industry change, innovation, supply chain integration, collaborative working, benchmarking, and sustainability, with 35 years experience of studying, implementing, and learning from best practice and change programs in the housing, construction, and infrastructure sectors in the UK and overseas. Please welcome Don Ward.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Fantastic to see the CIB community together in this world of virtual working and Zoom and so on. Wonderful to see you all in person. Welcome, and I look forward to talking to as many of you as possible over the next 4 or 5 days. The first thing I'd like to do is to reinforce the appreciation of CIB for everything that Purdue University have done, particularly the 3 conference chairs and all their teams, but all their colleagues, all the work of the scientific committee, the reviewers. Thank you to the sponsors whose contribution is much appreciated, to all the exhibitors and so on and so forth. It's an incredible undertaking, as you can see, and I'm just massively appreciative of everything that you have all done. I hope that this week will prove all that effort to have been well worthwhile. CIB has a long and complicated name, in English anyway, but I like to think of it as collaboration for innovation in the built environment, the global network, therefore. So please take that sort of slogan with you as you think about the benefits of CIB. We were established over 70 years ago now under the auspices of the United Nations Economic Commission for Europe. It's very much a global organization these days, and the membership is over 100 institutional members. About 3/4 of those are universities, and in total some 3,000 experts participating in the working commissions and so on, with whom you will become very familiar if you're not already a CIB member as you attend the different sessions during this week. They come from 66 different countries. That's a slowly but steadily increasing number, and I think we can say the organization is now truly global. We add value in 3 different ways. We provide that global network for researchers and those interested in innovation in the sector to come together, to share their knowledge, to learn together, and hopefully to make more impact with the work that you are all doing. The primary vehicle for that is the working commissions. There are currently just under 40 of those. There have been over 240 over the 70 years. So there's an incredible back library of material which has come from those commissions. You will meet many of these. Those of you not familiar with CIB will meet many of the people who lead these commissions. To those coordinators, I say thank you for all the work that you do. It can be a thankless task. It can be a lot of work. I know what you contribute in that respect. So thank you very much, and I hope that those of you who are meeting CIB for the first time will appreciate the real value of that, of those networks, of those commissions, and want to continue to engage going forward from this week. Those commissions often hold their own conferences. Many of them hold regular webinars, which are all, of course, freely available to members. There's a massive back catalogue of all of that on the website, which is actually free to anybody to have a look at. So please do when you get a chance, perhaps, when you get back home after this busy week. Many of them produce reports, research roadmaps, sort of the state of the art, as it were, or where research is at in their sector. Many of them have special relationships with journals, and we have 32 partner journals. Mark mentioned that a number of them are working with the Congress to make available special issues over the next year or two based on the papers, or starting with the papers that are presented here at the conference. Yeah, hugely valuable to have that number of scientific journals who work with us. In terms of our other activities, we are in the business of supporting the development of tomorrow's talent, and I hope helping to raise the profile of the value of research in our sector and the impact that your research has in making a difference in our sector and improving performance. And as we've heard, in contributing to progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals. Just two highlights of what we do with the younger generation. The first is the student chapters, 20 of those at the moment. Many of them are represented here, and I look forward, by the way, to meeting with you later in the week. But I hope you take the chance to network with other student chapters, perhaps think about some collaborations going forward, and pick up ideas from each other. The other network in this area is the Early Career Researchers Network, very much a child of the pandemic, in that it's a virtual network, bringing together those early in their career, let's say 5 years into your career, focused on early career development issues, the sorts of challenges that researchers can face early in their career. And there are a number of webinars available, and there is a whole ongoing series for that. And to finish on something that the younger generation really ought to be focused on, and that is a number of awards and funding that we make available. Just watch for all the announcements on the website around here. Time doesn't allow me to promote these heavily now, but they're small but not insignificant amounts of money available for a number of good causes. So with that, I'd like to hand on to the CIB president. Well, at least he is for almost 24 more hours. And Mark will share with you some highlights of the last 3 years. Mark Hastag.
Thank you, Don. And I must say that it has been an absolute pleasure and a bit of hard work to serve as your president for the last 3 years. And I want to thank all of you for having faith in my leadership and giving me the opportunity to share some of the new ideas that we brought into CIB over the past 3 years. Indeed, achievements such as this are not done in isolation, as you all know. So there are a lot of people to thank, and a lot of hard work has been put in. So let me share with you a few things that we were able to achieve in the last 3 years. So I first want to start with our CIB officers. I think many of you know these individuals. They have worked really hard over the past 3 years to keep us on track and keep all the achievements that we have made. So please thank them. They're all here. Most of them are here except for Paul, I think. And of course, behind this is a big board. And we have, as you can see, our board comes from 18 different countries, 6 continents, counting the 8 officers that I mentioned earlier. You'll see that we have 16 other members on the board. Excellent, excellent, excellent members that have contributed n number of hours to achieve and progress CIB further. As you would remember, those of you who were in Melbourne, that we had started off with 3 priorities. And those were membership growth, new value-added propositions, and then growing CIB profile and influence. And I must say that we have improved and achieved a lot in all 3 of these main priorities. And of course, the work continues beyond that. We have added 16 new members, and these are in all different associate and full members. There are some renewals, upgrades in membership. We have instituted 12 regional directors, and many of you are here, and they're taking leadership and bringing it closer to the members so that there could be local activities that are supported by CII. There's a repository of information that we have knowledge in CII, and that needs to go down to members who are not engaged on a day-to-day basis. So the regional directors are doing a fantastic job in reaching out to our membership and making sure that each and every one gets the benefit of the membership as they need to. And you can see, we have done webinars. Dawn and I have visited a number of universities, a number of continents, and get to know our members and some new members as well. And of course, reaching out to local stakeholders, agencies, and foundations. There's a lot of work in that effect. 10 working commissions completed their task over the past 3 years. And this is a live organization. Contemporary ideas come, ideas that get saturated, move on. And you will see that in that vein, we have had a change in leadership also for 10 different commissions. We are encouraging that ECRs, or the early career researchers, get more active and participate in the leadership process so that what we do truly well is to train the next generation. And that is the idea of engaging ECRs also as commission leaders so that that transition happens smoothly for the longevity of this organization. We have added new task groups. A couple of those are already in function. A couple of those just got approved this month. We are still in May. And there are many more proposals are coming in. So if you are interested, and you know that there's a community that you would like to attract like-minded individuals in your area of expertise and interest, please send in a proposal. That proposal gets reviewed. CIB puts all efforts from the headquarters and the membership behind it and makes it happen for you. So please do that. Please send in a proposal of what you want to follow and you want to build that community within CIB and others. We have enhanced student chapters and ECR activities. We have added new chapters, as you can see over there, and we have a number of activities are planned for the year. And Srinath is here; he's leading that effort. You can see that for entire 2025, there are a number of activities that are already planned. So please take advantage of this as well. This year we are 72 years old. And so CIB, I think Billy is here somewhere. Billy took the lead, Billy here, in putting together, there he is, a 70-year brochure that documents the history of CIB and what we have been able to achieve right from the beginning of this organization. I must point out, I'm really happy to share this news with you, that we are going to be signing an MOU with these two publishers, Emerald and Taylor & Francis, to have book series and book agreements for CIB members year after year after year. And that is fantastic. I mean, when I look around here, this is the wealth of knowledge in the construction industry globally. This is what we do. We publish. We like to publish our work that we know is groundbreaking. And these two publishers have shared that vision with us. And we will be running book series. So any of you can take the lead, put together authors that are like-minded in that edition, and we have the opportunity. We have the floor. We have these two publishers wanting to promote that further. So please take advantage of that. And we'll be putting more information up as that goes further. As you heard Dawn mention, we are aligned with the UN SDGs. And we were initiated on the auspices of United Nations, and that continues. We have a commitment to Global ABC, that's Global Alliance for Building and Construction. Hoop Kaiser is here, who's leading that effort through CIB. Myself and Dawn Ward, we went around different countries, visiting with members, visiting with new members, and just bringing the word of what CIB is all about and what is our mission in different ways. So you saw that the theme for this Congress is, of course, again, what is the role of our industry in influencing the Sustainable Development Goals? So towards that end, you will see all of this. When you look at this list, you probably think, well, maybe 5, 6, 7 of those, I definitely see that there is an impact. But believe me, for the last 3 years almost, I've been running webinars. Many of you have participated as invited guests and as in attendance. And we have been exploring this topic over multiple different seminars. As you can see, there are 5 seminar series that we have conducted so far as the President's Seminar Series. And the first one was CIB commissions. So what knowledge each commission holds. So we held these webinars, about 14 or 15 of those. In the second and third season, I invited our distinguished women participants, women researchers, and there's a tremendous amount of work that is going on. Many of those that you see here, if you're around, please stand up and be acknowledged. Yes, 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 there we go. And I've met many others, so if you see yourself here, Pia. And I know that many of them are coming, just not maybe here today, but please acknowledge them. They're a tremendous amount of work. And we in the fourth season, then we did research perspective around the world, and I mentioned the 12 regional directors. We invited them, they shared their knowledge and what is happening in their area. So this is a network, this is a global network. If that is what we are creating as a path forward for everybody to connect and get to know what's happening in the world. As a final panel, for the last semester, I've been running panel discussions every week. And many of you that I see here have participated in that. And that was to explore, okay, we are saying, what is the role of our industry in influencing the Sustainable Development Goals? Let's explore that. Let's have a debate. And those were sort of precursors to our hope that now that all of you are here, that it will continue, that debate will follow. We have 500 plus papers that will be presented on the topic. So if you look at this list, these were the panel discussions that we had just last semester. And if you're interested in listening to them, you can go to the CIB YouTube, and all of these 5 seasons are there. You can share them with your students, let them understand what the concepts are. It's coming from you. You're the leaders in the industry. So your students, our students need to understand what are the thought processes in this industry. So with that said, I want to thank all of you again. As I said, it has been a pleasure serving as your president. And again, it's been an honor that you have had the faith in my leadership for the last 3 years. So thank you again.
Thank you, Dr. Hashtag. I would now like to ask Dr. Hubbard to welcome our next speaker on stage, Daniel Castro. Dr. Castro has been Dean of the Purdue Polytechnic Institute at Purdue University since 2022, after 16 years at Georgia Institute of Technology. He received a BSc in Civil Engineering from Universidad de los Andes, an MSc in Construction Management from the University of Reading, and a PhD from the School of Civil Engineering at Purdue University. He is a registered professional engineer and worked in project engineering and management in the public and private sectors, editor-in-chief of Automation and Construction, serves on the board of directors of the International Association for Automation and Robotics in Construction, co-chair of the 2022 International Symposium on Automation and Robotics in Construction, and was the chair of the 2014 ASCE Construction Research Congress. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Castro.
Thank you, Jim. Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to welcome you to our Purdue University, my alma mater, well, I have several ones, and to the CIB World Building Congress. I'm sure they're calibrating me for the 10 minutes, and I see. By the way, thank you to Mark, to Brian, to Z for having me here. I'm honored to be part of this incredible gathering of global experts, the CIB community, who are shaping the future of the built environment. Today, I would like to share my college, of course, how Purdue Polytechnic is contributing to that future. not by thinking in traditional academic terms, I will tell you about that in a moment, but by reimagining how we educate and prepare students to solve complex and real-world problems. We see a role not just as educators, but as co-creators of talent, innovation, and opportunity. Our approach is integrated, agile, and deeply connected to the industries and systems that define our built world. Let me begin with this idea. The built environment is no longer a single discipline, it's a network. And I can give you the best example here. I used to work in departments of civil engineering, I used to work in departments of building construction, and we always tend to do what? To reach out, right, to collaborate. And it's great. So when I have the opportunity of coming here as Dean of the Purdue Polytechnic, it's a college that has all these pieces that we need for collaboration. For example, we have a unit that has a major called BIM. It was the dream of Chuck Eastman in his prime times, having a major called BIM. We have another school that has a major called UAS Systems, something that we do a lot in construction. We have a major in cybersecurity. I mean, in automation in construction, we receive a lot of papers nowadays in blockchain. We receive a lot of papers in prefabricated construction, right? We have a major here called smart manufacturing. You see, so to me, it's like it was like coming to as a kid in a candy store, looking at how to connect all this. So at Purdue Polytechnic, our educational approach reflects that complexity. We are not organized around traditional academic boundaries. Instead, we prepare students to work across disciplines just like they will in the real world. A new kind of education, right? This reality demands a different kind of education. At Purdue Polytechnic, we have broken down traditional academic boundaries to create a model that reflects the complexity of the world our students will enter. It's interdisciplinary, agile, and designed to prepare future leaders to thrive in a rapidly changing global environment. You can see their programs there. Our program spans fields that directly impact the built environment. So these are not isolated islands anymore. They're all connected. Aviation, for example, or US systems, transportation, urban mobility, computing with cybersecurity, construction management, of course, engineering technology with smart manufacturing, and leadership. Students don't just learn in classrooms. They work on industry-driven challenges that require them to collaborate across disciplines. And that's not the exception. It's the norm in the Polytechnic. And our model starts early. Maybe you don't know this. We have Purdue Polytechnic high schools. So we teach students from the early beginning the importance of collaborating. Students in Purdue Polytechnic high schools learn about design thinking the first day of school. Many from underserved communities, so now tying with the UN goals. From underserved communities, they are there. Get hands-on exposure to technology, innovation, and industry connections, preparing them long before they reach college. We bring the built environment to life through our facilities. I hope you have a chance of touring them later. Dudley Hall, Lambertus Hall. Our students don't just study innovation, they build it. Here you can see a picture of our Lennard Construction Lab that it opened recently, as a named lab. The Lennard Construction Lab is a great example. It's a state-of-the-art construction space designed for learning, prototyping, and collaboration. It was created through a partnership that began with our Purdue Polytechnic High School, and is creating a real pathway from high school to the skilled trades or to our degree programs. This is industry partnership in action, connecting education and workforce development in a seamless way. Then we see here the Smart Foundry. It's not in construction, but it is in smart manufacturing. Students work with both traditional and modern tools. They use data analytics, sensors, and digital systems to improve casting processes and experiment with new materials. This is how we bridge the gap between what has always worked and what's coming next, between tradition and Industry 4.0. It's not just about learning a method, it's about understanding the systems, optimizing the process, and thinking like innovators. Our Smart Learning Factory is a fully integrated learning environment designed to replicate the cyber-physical systems used in modern factories. Students simulate real production lines using automation, sensors, robotics, and cloud-based platforms. And these labs are just few examples of how Purdue Polytechnic is helping students engineer the future. So, at Purdue Polytechnic, we are preparing leaders, builders, and thinkers who will transform, not just participate in. the global built environment. We believe that future is shaped by 3 guiding principles. Just coming back to those UN goals. Innovation by designing education that keeps pace with technology and industry. Equity or opportunity, using more American terms these days, by expanding access to real opportunities for all learners, especially those from underserved communities. Through our high schools, our inclusive pathways, and an emphasis on applied learning, we ensure no one is left behind. And by integration, by connecting disciplines, ideas, and people to solve the complex challenges of the built environment. So I invite you, the CIB community, our global partners, to join us in building a smarter, more sustainable, more inclusive future. Thank you very much. So I think I met my quota, but then this doesn't count in the 10 minutes, right? The introduction to Dean Raman, right? It probably will be longer than the 10 minutes. No, I'm joking, Arvind. So let me introduce you. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Arvind Raman, the John A. Edwardson Dean of the College of Engineering at Purdue University, which is another alma mater here. Dean Raman is a globally recognized leader in nanotechnology and engineering education, and under his leadership, Purdue Engineering continues to drive innovation, research excellence, and impact across the world. Please join me in welcoming Dean Raman.
Well, thanks to everyone, and Z and Byron and Mark for having me here. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing? Well, good to see all of you here. Welcome to Purdue University. I'd like to thank the CIB, its donors, its sponsors, its members, its industry and academic partners, the scientific program committee, such a long list of distinguished people on the committee, the entire local organizing committee as well, for making sure that this event happens here on Purdue's campus for the first time in the 70-year history of CIB. So thank you all very much for it. Now, we couldn't be more thrilled to host this event here on Purdue's campus for many reasons. One of which is because this event is happening at the heels of a 4-day-long marathon, largest commencement ceremony in America, where we honored a record high of 10,000 graduates the old-fashioned way by calling out each one's names, looking them in the eye, and shaking their hands. Had this event happened last week, I don't know how we would have done it. So I'm happy it's happening at the heels of that big event. But also really excited this is happening on Purdue's campus. During this special year for us in Purdue Engineering, we're celebrating 150 years of Purdue Engineering. Purdue Engineering started in September 1874 when the then President Abraham Shortridge published the first engineering-wide curriculum that consisted of 3 common years and a 4th year where students at the time could specialize in one of 4 majors. This was civil, architecture, mining, or mechanical engineering. Since then, for 150 years, the Purdue Engineering brand has shown brilliantly for 150 years, thanks to generations of smart, innovative, and scrappy Boilermaker engineers who've gone on to have a tremendous impact in the world around us. In fact, if you think about it, almost every major giant leap made in America in the last 150 years has had Boilermakers at the forefront, leading the charge. Think about it. Golden Gate Bridge, Hoover Dam, human space exploration, nitrogen fertilizer, transistors, pacemakers, insulin, barcode, QR code, wireless communication, television, pattern recognition, which is the foundation of artificial intelligence. Boilermaker engineers have been at the forefront for each and every of these giant leaps, and many more to come. Which brings me to the theme of the Congress here today, the sustainable built environment. Given the vast amount of time that humanity spends in the built environment, the average American alone spends 90% of their time in the built environment, and the tremendous impact that the built environment has on the natural environment around us, the goal of sustainable built environment will truly be a global giant leap for all of humanity. a giant leap that all of us here in the audience are striving towards. And it's a giant leap where I can assure you that Boilermakers will, as in all giant leaps prior, be at the forefront, working with all of you to make sure that giant leap happens. You will see that commitment reflected on campus. For example, when you go visit the Ray W. Herrick Laboratories, which is a LEED Gold certified research facility with 1,000 sensors that allow us to monitor real-time the entire building performance. The Herrick Labs is also home to the Center for High Performance Buildings, where interdisciplinary teams of faculty and students are working together with industry, hand in hand with industry, on some of the key cutting-edge innovations needed in HVAC systems, in indoor air quality, in building efficiencies. You'll see that commitment reflected in civil engineering faculty and construction faculty and students who are working very closely with industry to make sure that we can embed smart sensors in highways and bridges to monitor in real time the structural integrity of this infrastructure. You'll see them in the innovations coming out by these faculty in new innovative construction materials, construction processes that reduce the environmental impact across the entire construction life cycle. And all these efforts on campus, as you can tell, are very closely aligned with the mission and values of CIB. And I'd like to congratulate the CIB for 70 years of excellence. What great leadership. And to its current leader, our own Mark Hastak, who is the president of CIB, professor of civil and construction engineering. Mark is a remarkable leader, a very special leader with a very special talent, the ability to speak the language of industry and academia at the same time. So I'd like to invite all of you to enjoy the conference. I hope you have meaningful conversations, great collaborations, but I also hope that you challenge each other so that we can get to that giant leap earlier rather than later. Together, all of you are helping build a foundation for the future that is not only designed and built to last, but also a future that is inclusive, uplifting, and sustainable. With that, it gives me incredible pleasure to welcome our next speaker, Dr. Karen Plout, who is the Executive Vice President for Research at Purdue. She's the inspiring leader of Purdue's $600 million and growing strong research enterprise, and also for all its interdisciplinary research initiatives. Dr. Plout is a well-renowned researcher in animal science whose research has been funded by USDA, NIH, NSF, NASA, and her work has been tremendously impactful, including in outer space, where she served as the chief scientist for the International Space Station. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Karen Plout.
Thanks. It's great to be here today and see all of you in the audience from many, many different countries. I want to talk to you a little bit about Purdue and how it meets some of the sustainability goals. I need my clicker, and I'll move over a little bit. We talk about excellence at scale at Purdue. That's because of the size of our undergraduate population, the size of our research portfolio, and many other things. So when you look at it, I wanted to give you a few statistics about Purdue. We know you're from many different areas. We do have we're a top 5 institution in graduating the most STEM majors. That's science, technology, engineering, and math. We have 128 countries that our students come from, and we have over 52,000 students on campus. By coming today, you won't see the 52,000 students because they graduated last week or went home for other opportunities. But during the school year, it's bustling with this number of students, and 12,000 of them are graduate students. We also have been fortunate enough to keep tuition constant for the last 13 years. The College of Agriculture is ranked number 3 in the country. Engineering is ranked number 4. We're a top 8 public university, top 10 most innovative university in the US, and number 4 for patents. Actually, we've moved to number 2 and number 3 nationally in startup creation. So those are just a few of the statistics about Purdue that gives you some idea where we're coming from. You already saw this slide about the Sustainable Development Goals, and I thought what I'd do is go through some of the research we do and how it fits in with the SDGs. They're an important part, especially as someone from agriculture. We've talked about the SDGs many, many times and really believe that's part of the ethos of Purdue University. Purdue is what's called a land-grant institution. That means it's a public institution that was founded not only to do research and teaching, but also to make an impact in the world and help people around the world. And you'll see that throughout Purdue, that one of our goals is not only just to make a difference and make new innovations, but as Arvind articulated, some of the differences it can make around the world. And I think Dean Castro did the same when he was showing how well connected the students are with industry and others. When we talk about Purdue University and its research portfolio, what we talk about is that we're a university that focuses on national and economic security. And this, again, fits with the SDGs, because it's not just, people think of national security as just defense. I think all of you in this audience know national security is not just defense. It's about many other things, because you cannot provide a safe and secure livelihood without many other opportunities, including the life and health sciences. Things like making sure people have enough to eat, making sure that they're free from disease. National security and defense. So you do need to make sure that the country is safe. Saving energy and protecting the environment. If we want to be sustainable, we have to make sure that we are protecting the environment for the future. Modernize our infrastructure, very important to this group here. How do we make sure that in the future we have an infrastructure that supports either the US or whatever country you are from? Ensuring economic prosperity through data science and AI. We know that that's really critical as we move forward. AI revolutionizes many of the processes we can do, and it provides some economic security. And last, feeding the world. As we know, hungry people make for an insecure nation. Really, really important. I was going to go through just some examples and how it fits within those sustainability goals. So if we think about clean water and sanitation, one, we have a researcher measuring microbial dynamics in those water systems. I think many of you who are from countries that don't have water infrastructure know exactly what this is about, as it is responsible for many of the enteric diseases that you see around the world. In addition, work by Andy Welton in cured-in-place pipes that are used for water systems reveals that our organic chemicals are being released into the air during the curing process. In addition, there are microparticles that are coming off that are impacting our water stream. So just some of the ways that that infrastructure is impacting what we do. In terms of national security and defense, we need to continue to move forward in terms of innovation with industry and expanding research in microelectronics, as well as looking at new tools and new ways that we can make sure our computer chips are safe and other things are safe from hackers and others. Saving energy and protecting the environment. So these are all those main research goals. This one really fits with SDG 7, affordable and clean energy. It's about trucks platooning. So if any of you drove up what our major route to campus is, Route 65, you noticed a lot of trucks on that road. How do we save some energy? And basically by building some of these systems where they go together, really drafting off each other and connecting those trucks will really enable some energy efficiency that we don't have right now. Modernizing our infrastructure. We have a great group working on how do we change and really take advantage of electrification and AI. And we have out on one of the roads around town, actually, they tore it up and rebuilt it so that it actually has the ability for a truck to drive over and get recharged as it's moving forward. We have Cummins, so this gets to the application. Cummins, which is a big truck company in the area. If you drive over this patch of road, it can recharge that truck. So that electrification really provides one of those keys for the future and really gets to affordable and clean energy. Digital technology for safety. This is a really interesting project where they actually now can install sensors in concrete. Concrete is all over the world. And basically, there's no way to tell when it's going to fail. These sensors within that allow us to tell when concrete is going to fail, when it needs to be replaced. And you can see that that's a really important aspect for the future. And last, feeding the world, getting to that zero hunger. We have new solutions to that, and especially using robotics and some things like that. This is corn. This is typical Indiana, where you can drive this little robot through these cornfields and actually take samples and measurements and do things like that so we can continue to improve our yields. Very many tools are coming to agriculture to look at that future. Many of you will have the opportunity in many different countries to use UAS's unmanned aerial systems, which can really make a difference for the future. You can start seeding areas that were maybe too wet previously for agriculture. Using this also, you can control water use and other things. So another great example of how some of the new technologies will make a difference in the world. Okay. With that, that gives you an idea of how we actually are responding to those needs of the future. I think it also shows you that the construction industry and the work that you're doing is really, really critical to sustainability. Without some of the kinds of things that you're doing, and some examples that Purdue is doing that absolutely directly relates to those SDGs. I just want to thank you for what you're all doing that's going to make a difference in the world and make it so that we can reach some of the sustainability goals that have been set out previously. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Plow. With that, that wraps up our speakers for this morning. I want to thank all our co-chairs and our speakers that we had. Sessions start at 10:30. So with that, Mark, do you have anything else you want to add?
Well, nothing much to add other than to say please enjoy the next 6 days. There's a pack full of presentations and meetings and whatnot. The facilities are here. I was just going to say that our local organizing committee members, if you're around, could you please stand? Local organizing committee. Oh, sorry, they're all over. So please thank them and get to know them. They're busy checking that the rooms are in order and everything is going well. So what I was going to say was that we are all here to help you. If you need more information, our conference event staff is here as well. So please reach out, and if there are any questions, we are here to help you out. Please enjoy. Let's have a great day. Thank you.